It's a beautiful sunny day on Thursday, October 10th, 2024, as Norfolk Southern H57 is pulling out at Lock Haven Yard to begin the journey northbound for Keating and Driftwood, Pennsylvania. Today they have cars to interchange with the RJ Corman and the Buffalo and Pittsburgh Railroad, along with 58 empty coil cars bound for storage in Driftwood. Today we're going to travel the northernmost portion on the Buffalo line, which has only automatic signals and is known as dark territory. However, there are defect detectors which you'll hear throughout this video as we get to Renovo. But from here we see H57 pulling out of Lock Haven Yard out onto the main line, calling for the only signal it'll have to call for at CP Lock Haven. The power today is SD40E number 6322 and SD40-2 number 3472, as they have a 60-car train heading out on the Buffalo line.
Norfolk Southern milepost 169.4. No defects.
What you just heard was the defect detector at milepost 169.4 in Heiner, Pennsylvania, about 3 miles south of here. We're currently north at milepost 166 in the town of Renovo, as the H57 rolls through town, past the old Pennsylvania Railroad engine shops, the steam locomotive coaling tower, and some old PRR freight equipment on display. There's also a PRR position light signal standing next to the coal tower, which cannot be viewed with the vegetation. There's also an old switch stand still somewhere in the vegetation as well, with some of the old rails still in remnants here in the town of Renovo. This town has quite a history and was kind of like Altoona a little bit back in the olden days, but today it's all of Norfolk Southern that runs through here with the coal trains and the H57. We watch the H57 once again about 6 miles north of Renovo as it rolls through the town of Westport with its RS-5T horn echoing through the valley. This section of the tracks alongside PA Route 120 is located just below South Keating. As we approach Keating, we'll soon see the H57 cross over the Shiminahoning Creek in Keating as it'll continue north on the Buffalo line onto single-track territory as it has been always up to Driftwood. This section of Pennsylvania is known as Elk Country and is pretty much the middle of nowhere with no cell service between Driftwood and Renovo. Sometimes on these side tracks on the sidings here, which are pretty rusty, you'll see the coal trains here waiting for a crew, usually a 632, going south for Baltimore as they'll wait for a crew. But today there's no coal trains coming through as the next day there was. The H57 is the only train operating up here on this beautiful sunny afternoon, as we'll watch it across the Shiminahoning Creek in Keating, Pennsylvania. At Shiminahoning, the H57 once again crosses over the Shiminahoning Creek for the final time, as it nears Driftwood only a few miles away. It crosses over another spectacular bridge with some beautiful mountains here in Elk Country, as it rolls past the defect detector at milepost 142.8. Also in the consist, you'll notice one of the hoppers is missing. That's because it was dropped off at Keating, so the RJ Corman can take it with them to Clearfield. And finally, after 2.5 hours of chasing the H57, the train has finally arrived in Driftwood to drop off the storage cars and the one hopper for the Buffalo and Pittsburgh Railroad. That is one of the railroads that interchanges here, but Driftwood is as far north as Norfolk Southern goes on the Buffalo line. From here north continuing on towards Buffalo, New York, the trackage is owned by the Western New York and Pennsylvania Railroad from here up to Olean, New York, and points further north toward Buffalo. Norfolk Southern operates the northern stretch of the Buffalo line outside of Buffalo, New York, as a secondary line with a local freight out of Buffalo, New York.